Hi there, Roundtable fans. This is your host, Steven, and welcome back to our channel. This time out, I'll be talking about the third episode in the third season of Star Trek Picard, this one being called 17 Seconds. And this, for me, is another great episode so far in season three. We'll start off with the best part for me was seeing Beverly Crusher and Jean-Luc finally have a face-to-face talk and discussing about his son that he never knew he had. And it goes back and forth how she thought he was always, Jean-Luc was always a marked man, always on an adventure. She didn't know what was going to happen from one day to the next. Interesting. So at one point she clarifies it the best way she can. She goes, as a parent, as a mother, you're there to protect your child. She goes, I thought I could protect mine. I wasn't sure if I could protect yours, or I didn't know if I could protect yours. And this is where she created this distance from them so he could have a life and perhaps not be a target. Because the best way to get to Picard is hurt his son or hurt his family, right? So it was a hard move, but at the end, you get it. But it's heartfelt, and these two together were magic again. And I was teleported back to the next generation, and I was very happy with that scene. Also, we get a little bit more of Worf and Raffi. They have a very good chemistry together. I liked it. Worf is very interesting. He's, as much as he's a Klingon and a warrior, he's found that zen. He's found that balance that I think he didn't have in the next generation. He was like a little bit more hot-headed. This is him maturing and being very a mature Klingon. And I think part of his human upbringing and part of the Klingon way have finally merged and found balance. And I thought that was great. What else did I like? I like the fact that they brought back an ancient, well, not ancient, an old villain that we didn't get enough of. If anybody was a fan of Deep Space Nine, the Dominion Wars, there was the changelings, who are these creatures that can change into basically any form. Very, very cool that they're brought back. Usually Star Trek will always revert back lately to the Borg. That seems to be their go-to baddies when the stakes are really high. I thought this was a great turn of events to have the changelings come back. I kind of went, wow, that's cool. Really cool that they kind of threw me off my game on that one. Riker and Picard are great together. Unfortunately, this time they're not getting along. Riker has been given the command of the Titan due to Commander Shaw getting injured with the battle with the bounty hunter. And as you can see, there's references to Riker's son Thad, who gets, unfortunately, he dies, and he's never been the same. So the way he's protecting the ship is the way he would have protected his son. So as they're in the nebula, he's not really fighting the bounty hunters. He's kind of evading them, and Picard is pushing him and pushing and pushing. And at one point, Riker kind of follows through and attacks and fails. And he asks Picard to leave the bridge because they're falling through the nebula further and further down, and it looks like they're going to die. And he goes, you sent us to death, basically, because I listened to your way, get off the bridge. That these two had a big squabble like that was pretty intense too. Like, these two friends are now at opposite ends of how they're trying to. Picard is trying to protect his son a different way than Riker is kind of being the father and embracing the ship, as Picard is trying, no, we got to fight. Two different approaches trying to get to the same end, trying to do the same thing, save themselves, but they're each doing it a different way due to what's happened to them in the recent events. So really great, action-packed, great drama, good action, emotional, that emotional thing that you needed from Star Trek with Beverly and Picard. I think for me, this was a great episode again. It showed what they can do. This is Star Trek done right. This is really going well, in my opinion. This season there isn't a lot of nostalgia, don't get me wrong, and maybe I'm falling for it, seeing all the original Next Generation guys back in maybe is part of it, but I think it's still entertaining Star Trek, because I was, like I said, Picard season 1 and 2 were hit and miss, so this time out I thought this was a lot better done. It was a lot better than the first two seasons, in my opinion. Sorry about that. Hooked on phonics didn't work for me today. Other than that, 17 Seconds is a great episode. If you have not seen this series, I think you owe it. If you got, disappointed by Picard season 1 and 2, I think this makes up for it. And if this is truly, again, the last hurrah for the next generation, I think it's a good one so far. And I'm looking forward to them to bring Geordi, and I know that Data is dead, so I guess they're bringing Lore, but I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with that, because so far this has been a really entertaining third season for me. So this is my take. I'm giving it a thumbs up. I enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. Let me know what you thought about it. Are they strictly going on nostalgia here? Oh yeah, sorry, this popped in my head. I think they're really taking a lot of it, like the son. Picard has a son. Kirk has a son in and the Wrath of Khan. There's a lot of the original Star Trek, homages there. Not just the original series movies, which is interesting how they're kind of using those in the next generation. So they kind of tried to divide them at one point and say they're really different things, right? I thought that this is an interesting take, that there's a lot of the Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock in these episodes that feel popped in my head as I'm doing this. So forgive me for diverging into something else. But again, enjoyable episode. Let me know what you think. Did you like 17 Seconds? Do you like this season of Picard? Let me know. Love to hear from you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and live long and prosper.